By selling off the clinical healthcare and simplifying the portfolio, focusing our future on industrial predominantly, as well as retail and restaurant assets, we think we have a differentiated strategy where we can take advantage of that industrial focus, as well as the relationships we have with our retail and restaurant tenants, to hit each of those core building blocks, including the revenue-generating CapEx, the build-to-suit and developments, and as well as the regular way acquisitions.
I'm here today with John Moragne, CEO of Broadstone Net Lease. John, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
What were some of the key goals you set for yourself to achieve in 2024?
So we really had two. The first was to reposition our portfolio through our clinical healthcare simplification strategy. And the second was to set the foundation for us to return to what we see as sustainable and attractive AFFO per share growth through our four core building blocks of growth. And with all the work that we've done so far this year, we're very excited about the future and believe that we've been able to substantially accomplish both.
And during your last earnings call, you discussed a new built-to-suit development. Can you elaborate on this opportunity and how it fits into your overall investment strategy?
So from an overall investment strategy, the four core building blocks I mentioned are, the first is the in-place portfolio, which for us has a weighted average growth of about 2% a year. The second is revenue-generating CapEx with our existing tenants, which we really like to do. The third is build-to-suits and development projects like the one that we mentioned on the earnings call. And the fourth is regular way acquisitions. And we need all four of those to work to make sure that we're achieving that attractive and sustainable growth. But the one that we just announced, the build-to-suit, is with an existing tenant, Sierra Nevada Corporation. We are partnering with them to develop two what are called MRO, maintenance, repair, and overhaul facilities. They're 120,000 square foot, essentially airplane hangars, which will service the U.S. Air Force's doomsday planes. So the words mission critical get used a lot in our industry, but for us, thinking about those planes and the service that they provide for the Air Force and the federal government, as mission critical as it possibly gets.
As you've worked through your portfolio simplification and continue to grow your built-to-suit pipeline, how should investors think about your portfolio breakout going forward? And how do these changes position Broadstone to create long-term sustainable growth?
So with the four core building blocks, part of the reason why we think it works so well for us is the way that our portfolio is shaped up. By selling off the clinical healthcare and simplifying the portfolio, focusing our future on industrial predominantly, as well as retail and restaurant assets, we think we have a differentiated strategy where we can take advantage of that industrial focus, as well as the relationships we have with our retail and restaurant tenants, to hit each of those core building blocks, including the revenue-generating CapEx, the build-to-suit and developments, and as well as the regular way acquisitions. So in the future, industrial, retail, and restaurant, and those four core building blocks we think is what the real key is to our growth.